If you have to put someone on a pedestal, put teachers. They are society's heroes. The duties of a teacher are neither few nor small, but they elevate the mind and give energy to the character. The best teachers are those who show you where to look, but don't tell you what to see. Better than 1,000 days of diligent study is one day with a great teacher. Your heart is slightly bigger than the average human heart, but that's because you're a teacher. Teachers can change lives with just the right mix of chalk and challenges. Teaching is the greatest act of optimism. One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. Students, don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. It is not what is poured into a student that counts, but what is planted. Teachers have 3 loves: love of learning, love of learners, and the love of bringing the first 2 loves together. The art of teaching is the art of assisting discovery. Education doesn't just make us smarter, it makes us whole. Teaching kids to count is fine, but teaching them what counts is best. I am indebted to my father for living, but to my teacher for living well. A teacher affects eternity. He can never tell where his influence stops. I like a teacher who gives you something to take home to think about besides homework. I have learned silence from the talkative, toleration from the intolerant, and kindness from the unkind. Yet, strange, I am ungrateful to those teachers. A good teacher can inspire hope, ignite the imagination, and instill a love of learning. A teacher who is attempting to teach without inspiring the pupil with a desire to learn is hammering on cold iron. Good teachers know how to bring out the best in students. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Change is the end result of all true learning. Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those. Is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. Develop a passion for learning. If you grow. Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. They know enough who know how to learn. Education is the ability to listen to almost anything without losing your temper or your self-confidence. They cannot stop me. I will get my education if it is in the home, school, or any place. Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. He who opens a school door closes a prison. Education is the ability to meet life situations. Learning starts with failure. The first failure is the beginning of education.
Good evening, everybody. Could you please confirm if I'm audible? Please put a yes in the chat if I'm audible. All right, thank you. Good evening once again. Thank you all for registering and attending this national level online faculty development program on outcome-based education and application of generative AI in teaching and research, which is organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell, the IQAC, and the OBE Committee of St. Mary's College Autonomous Thrissur in association with the Collegiate Education Department, Government of Canada. Today, we would like to welcome, we have 2 resource persons today. We have Dr. Kamal Shah for the first session, who is the principal, St. John College of Engineering and Management, SJCEM, Palghar, Maharashtra. And we have the second session, which will be taken by Dr. Mendes Jacob, who is a professor and director, MCA, Marine College, Kotikanam Autonomous, MD and CEO of IPSA Solutions Limited. And we would like to welcome all the FTP participants of today. Now, about this FTP, this is a 1-week FTP program with live test sessions from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And this is our 5th day of the FTP. Now, fee for the LMS access and processing of certificate is rupees 400. All the participants who have paid the processing fee will receive the LMS access, the video recordings for all the days, and the provision to download your FTP completion certificate. The procedure for receiving the certificate will be informed to you towards the end of the FTP. If any of you would still like to make the payment, you can make the payment of rupees 400 to the account details I've already shared in the chat. If you are unable to attend any of the live sessions, the recordings of it will be available in the LMS. Now, we have shared the LMS access details through email to those who have shared the payment proof in WhatsApp till yesterday. Those who have shared the payment proof today will receive the LMS access details later in the day or by tomorrow. If you have any trouble in attending the WebEx online session, you can also join the live session using the YouTube live link that I have put in the chat. Now, my name is 𝐬𝐧𝐥𝐢𝐧𝐞. I'm working as Global Relations Manager at IPSR Solutions Limited, and I will be the event moderator. Now, coming on to today's session, the first session, the FTP technical session, the topic is going to be outcome-based academic research. Now, this is going to be delivered by Dr. Kamal Shah, who is an ME, PhD, postdoc quantum computing, principal, St. John College of Engineering and Management, SJCEM, Palghar, Maharashtra. Dr. Kamal Shah is the principal in charge of St. John College of Engineering and Management, is the trainer for AICTE Atal program and other faculty development programs. She has trained more than 3,000 faculty till date on OBAR, NEP 2020, blockchain technology, and quantum computing. She's got more than 25 years of experience, and she is the recipient of 20 Pragmatic Women of India Award. Over to you, ma'am.
Participants for the session on outcome-based academic research model. And this particular session and this particular model or the framework is designed such a way that if you are a teacher of any subject, this particular model is helpful to you. So not only engineering and technology teachers, but any teacher can use it for enhancing the research capability of the faculty and the research outcome along with the academic pursuit. So now let me share the PPT with all of you and we'll start the session. PPTs are visible to all of you?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So let us start the session. It is a model or a framework which we are going to learn today during this particular session. So basically the agenda of the talk of around 45 to 50 minutes, what we are going to cover, initially we will understand that how this particular outcome-based academic research model, in short we call it as a OBAR model, how you can design, like what is that model, that we will take full understanding of it. After that, we will start designing the OBAR model for our subject. So I will take one example of one subject which I have taught, and simultaneously you can work for your own subject, and wherever you have any doubt or you have any queries, you can raise the same. Afterward, we will see that when we implement this model with the student in past, what all good results we have received and how the outcomes are improved. So this is the flow of the presentation, what we are going to learn today in the first 45 minutes. Now we all are a faculty member in one or other institute. And whenever we have joined the profession as a faculty, we were given one particular subject, okay, and sometimes of our choice, sometimes because of the department need, we have taken few subjects. But every semester we get one or two theoretical subjects and few labs of our interest. And what we do as a faculty, whenever we receive the syllabus, we compare the syllabus with other existing modular syllabus, AICT model curricula, or sometimes some good universities, IIT, NIT, some university abroad. Sometimes we even compare for the IT, computer, that kind of the branch. We even compare with some industry standards, that what is going on currently and where our syllabus stands. And if we are an autonomous institute, what we do, we identify the gap and then we try to cover that gap using the content beyond syllabus component. And we have experienced, like all of you have also experienced, that whenever we go for NBA, NEC, that kind of accreditation process, at that time, those accreditation body ask that, okay, this is a syllabus given by the university or you have designed. What is the self-learning component, collaborative learning component? How you are bridging the gap with respect to the industry? Because every year, whenever industry produce the report, they say that the graduates are not employable. So these are the standard questions and these are the standard activities what we do as a faculty under our colleges, like whether engineering college or any other college. So this is the basic or the core of the teaching learning process, which we are doing and we keep on doing the same thing. As a student of the college, what students are going, like student life cycle, if you observe, what they do, they learn some theory and perform some experiments, case studies during their academic engagement with you between 9 to 5. Sometimes we arrange additional seminar, workshop. We show them some video lectures on the YouTube. Or nowadays we started encouraging students to register themselves for MOOC, Swayam, NPTEL, Coursera, Udemy, Upgrade. Those kind of platforms we are providing to the students so that they can learn something from the other faculties, other medium, and because there are 3 4 different kind of the learners. Some learners are kinesthetic learners, some learner are visual learner, some are auditory learner. So we try to manage all kind of needs of the student by sharing content through various media. And at the end, what is the aim? We prepare the students for their career path, either for a better placement or for the higher studies in India or abroad. Or sometimes students are enthused, so they can start their own startup. So this is a life cycle of a faculty inside the organization, and the same is a life cycle with us, like as a faculty into the organization. Now, taking this as a base, let us understand that what are the research perspective, because nowadays, along with the academic, research also has become one of the, I would say, prime part of any organization. So whenever we ask the students or the faculty member, today even I ask you that what do you understand by research? Then mostly I will get the answers like I will register for PhD. So by doing that PhD registration, the research component or the research uh, capability will increase. Then some of the faculty say ki we will do a publication, sometimes a joint publication, sometimes the publication with the faculty and a student. So we do this kind of the research. Matlab, whenever somebody asks us, we or usually give answer as a PhD publication. Sometimes people even feel that they will apply for some research grants and gather some kind of funds. And now SIH, Smart India Hackathon, lots of national, international competitions are there. So where we want to send our students. But when we ask institute that what is their research perspective, why they want that faculty should do research or a student should do research, at that time they have very definite requirement why they are suggesting or why they are promoting the research. So now let us understand that in why institute is doing this research activity. Because all the institution, they want NIRF ranking, NEP 2020, NBA, NEC, autonomy, and gradually every institute is aspiring to become either a state private university or deemed to be university. So those higher authorities, management, they want a research for the branding, accreditation, rating, ranking. So these are the two different research perspective inside the organization. Do you have you observed this kind of the, I would say, expectations even in your own organization? Have you ever observed this? Anybody would like to share? Like these are the two perspectives normally present in any institute wherever we are working. Now, what is observed that there is a gap as a faculty, as a student, as an academician inside the organization. We are having a different level of expectations and outcome. What we envision as a part of research is different than what the higher authorities are expecting. So there is a gap. Okay. Now, we want to bridge this particular gap of expectations between two stakeholders using our outcome-based academic research model. Now, let us understand that now we all have understood that there is a gap. Okay. So, whenever somebody says that institute is not doing good research or something like that, then what is a gap, like why we are under this category, we want to understand that. And then once we understood that there is a gap, we want to even bridge the gap. Okay, so now let us understand that how we can bridge the gap. Now let me share the story from the Japanese culture. Okay, so they call the principle of Kaizen. What is this principle of Kaizen? If we Google also, we'll come to know that Kaizen is nothing but small improvement which will give a large impact. Okay. The improvement is very small or the process is modified slightly, very little. Delta modification, I would say, but the impacts are sigma. They are very huge impact on the system. So let me explain the principle using one small example. So in the Australia, which is like known for that wool or produced from the merino ship. So in Australia, the merino ships are like they have lots of ship, and then that particular wool is of very good quality across the world. The quality of that merino ship and that wool is very much appreciated by all. But the merino ships, when they grow older and that wool started coming on their body, the density of that wool on the merino ship is very huge. So the bulk is very huge. And because of that, a fungus develop inside the body, because on the skin of the ship, there are some small insects develop because the wool become very untidy, and in that kind of insects develop. When insects develop, the bacterial fungus develop on the skin of the ship, the quality of the wool definitely will reduce. To avoid this problem and to get the best quality of the wool, what they have done, that initially all the farmers, like, they used to put different kind of liquid in that disinfection material. They used to dilute, and that material they used to pour onto the ship. Now when that material is poured onto the ship, all of a sudden ship becomes suffocated, because lots of material is there and the ship is deep inside that particular pit, and the face is inside that pit, and the suffocation happens. So physically, psychologically, the ship is not happy in that process, and that psychological disorder continues for, or a trauma continues for few more days. So to avoid all this jugglery, the Kaizen principle of the Japanese are introduced in this process. So what they have done, the ship, one characteristic of the ship we all know, that they go in line, like one after another. So what they have done inside the farm, they have created steps like this, as shown in the picture. So whenever ship will come in a natural way, it will take those steps one by one by one. It will go inside that disinfection material or a medicine. uh, Everything will put, matlab, those medicine will be there on their body, but the face is out. Okay, only body part where the wool is there is disinfected by this material when the ship is passing through the pit, and ship will come out happily, because that suffocation part is not there, and the purpose of the farmers or the shepherd, that is also solved. The ship got disinfected. The same principle of Kaizen we are now going to use for our outcome-based academic research model. So we don't want to put lots of restrictions on the faculty member by which they feel suffocating into the system. Otherwise, what they will feel, that this institute, they are putting lots of stress for doing a research. They are asking lots of publications, patent, book review, book chapter, and the faculty is not able to do that. Lots might be appraisals are stopped, or might be memos are given. Those kind of suffocating situations we want to avoid, because ultimately faculty also want to do research, and the institute also want to do a research. So we are using now this Kaizen principle to avoid those suffocating principles. We want that faculty should gradually do the research along with the students and other stakeholder, and like the ships are coming happily out from the pit and the purpose is solved, we also want to do the same thing using OBAR model. So this is a model which will help us to bridge the gap between the expectations of the institute and the faculty and the stakeholder. So now let us understand by taking the base of Kaizen principle. Now let us understand that what we are actually doing. Okay. Now this is a OBAR model. Now I'll give you around 30 seconds and you just try to solve this puzzle one from top to bottom, that you start with the penguin and you go up to the fish, and after 15 seconds, but whenever you are completing, just see the time in your watch, and then take the second round from fish to penguin and measure the time. So I request all of you to kindly participate in the activity for 30 seconds and try to do both the pass, penguin to fish and fish to penguin. Okay, finished? Now I'm just doing a stop share and I'll just want you to answer how much time you took, or where you took a more time. When you start traversing from Penguin to Fish, you took more time, or when you go from Fish to Penguin, you took a more time. Where you have taken more time? Fish to Penguin you took a more time, or Penguin to Fish you took a more time? So majority of you have taken less time when we start from Fish to Penguin and took a more time when we go from Penguin to Fish, correct? Now why that has happened? Okay, here from Penguin to Fish, when we were going, we have lot many path to search. Okay, there are 1, 2, 3 path. Some we know mentally that only one path is correct, but there are lots of options. But when we start from Fish to Penguin, this is a target and there is only one way out. That's why we took less time. So this is another principle or another pillar for OBAR model. The first pillar is a Kaizen principle. We don't want to suffocate the faculty. And the second one is we want quick outputs if we are able to decide our target first. From target, when we traverse back Fish to Penguin, we will take a minimum time. So now let us understand how we can do. So outcome-based academic research, it starts at the goal. Whatever is your target, the model starts from that particular target. Usually the target is at the end, but this model is a reverse model which starts with your goal. And then it will work backward. Okay. And in that backward process, it identifies the steps required to achieve that preset goal. Whatever is your goal, it will help you to achieve that particular goal in an incremental fashion. Small, small steps it will give you so that you can reach to your goal in minimum time. So the outcome-based academic research starts at the goal, work backward to identify the steps required to achieve the preset goal. It is an incremental process. Okay, it is not a one-time process or an impulsive activity. It is an incremental process linking one stage to the next. So all stages are connected with each other. Now let us see what is our outcome-based education system and how we can improve it to OBAR. Now, whichever organization you are working with, every organization has a vision. Okay. Vision is a long-term objective or the purpose of the existence. Now to achieve that vision, we define mission. And mission is normally the statements or the bullets that we will do all these activities so that we can achieve the vision of the institute. To do or all this activity under one institute, normally we have lot many departments or the sections or the activity. So every department, they have their own program educational objectives, that every program will have a specific goal and target so that they contribute towards the mission and vision of the organization. Now every department, under department, they have lot many students or graduates. Now whenever we take 4-year or 3-year program for these graduates, at the end of the 3rd and 4th year, we want that they should develop a kind of characteristics or attribute within them. So for engineering studies or a technical studies, the NBA has given 12 graduate attributes. These are the 12 characteristics we want to develop among students. And there are some program specific characteristics, because civil engineers are different than IT engineers. They are different than psychology students. They are different than the finance management students. So there are some specific objectives also we want to develop among students community or the graduates. Under department, we have lot many subjects. Normally for 4-year program, we have 40 to 48 subjects which we teach to the students, and every subject has a definite outcome. So there are usually 4 to 6 course outcomes are defined because so many subjects are there in the department. So subject is there. Under subject, what do you take? As a faculty, we know we take theory, practical, tutorial for the subject. So this is the whole cycle of outcome-based academic systems or outcome-based education, OBE model. And this you might have studied during the like previous 4 days also. Now how OBAR is different? OBAR has this additional block. What it is telling that design the enrichment activities during the semester so that which has a research component, enhance the self-learning, collaborative learning, assignment quality using this particular enrichment activities. So this is the difference between OBE and OBAR model. Now let us understand this block in a more detail. How to design that enrichment activities. Now, let us take some subject of your choice. Like simultaneously, if you are having a piece of paper and a pen, you can also start along with me designing activity for your subject. So let us take one subject of your choice. Whichever is your favorite subject, you can take that. I'm taking example of Green IT subject. It is an elective subject under our university, 3rd year IT engineering. This is one subject under university. Now, whenever we want to implement, like you as a faculty want to implement OBAR model, these are the steps. First of all, take a subject content or the syllabus, detailed syllabus. It could be from your home state university. If you are autonomous, it could be your own syllabus. If you have a foreign tie-up, it could be a credit transfer course coming from the foreign university. Whichever way, you have to take one subject and observe the content of the subject and find out that what are the gap compared to standard universities, IITs, NITs, industry requirement. What are the gap of your subject? First of all, identify the gap and your stage 1 is covered. Okay, you get a subject and you identify the gap. Now, for this subject, which I have taken example, the subject is 45 hours and it has a 6 module. Introduction, software development and data center, data storage and communication, information technology strategies and matrices, green IT services and role responsibility, managing regulation of green IT, all the rules and regulation across the world, like European country, American country, America, then Indian, Asian countries, all the rules regulations are given in this subject. So there are 6 modules of 45 hours engagement. Now as a faculty, what I am doing, I am taking this subject, I am observing the course outcome. Now you can see that there are 6 course outcome defined for 6 modules. So somewhere like deliver the principle and practice of green IT, improve environmental sustainability, understand various standards for green IT. These are the 6 course objectives and the outcome defined for green IT subject. And here you can see that in our department or university, these are the 12 POs, that is program outcome. When the student will go out of the system, like when they graduate, these are the characteristic. Like whenever we want to define apple, we say it's a round, red, fruit, sweet. So these are the characteristics of apple. Similarly, when the engineer goes out of the system, he should have the knowledge, problem analysis ability, investigation attitude, design thinking, tools, like he should know various latest tools used in the industry, teamwork, communication skill, professionalism, because it's a professional course. All the solutions should address the societal need. Engineer should always observe the ethics. Okay, the solution should be ethical because now it's a AI era. Lifelong learning ability should be developed into the student, because after 4 years actually they are going into the society and doing job or starting their own business. So lifelong learning capability should be developed, and the knowledge of finance management and project management. So these are the attribute we want to develop among the students. Your university engineering education, these are the standard because it has come from NBA. But if you have any other course, definitely you will also have some program outcome defined by your college or the department. After that, the second stage one is take a syllabus, read the COs and read the PO, and then go to the second stage. What is your second stage? We want to do CO-PO mapping. So these are the COs. I have shown you 6 COs were there and 12 POs are there. What we are doing, we are reading the PO and we are reading the CO and we are doing, acha, this is highly mapped, this is low mapped, or this is not at all mapped. So when I observed as a faculty my subject, I could map only PO5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is also PO1, PO2 on the higher level, and PO3, PO4, and PO5 on medium and low level. Another POs like communication skill, teamwork, professionalism, society, ethics, they are not covered as a part of my content. And this is normally the case with all the subjects of the theory. And so many years we have never bothered ourselves to see whether our content is developed this kind of attributes or no. We always feel that to develop this attribute, we have to do extra activities in the campus. Our subject should not, but this OBAR model is telling what? OBAR model is telling that in your subject, through our own process, we can do or we can achieve or develop these characteristics into the students. Now let us understand how we can do. So now what I have done, that I want a better PO attainment. Okay, only 5 POs were attained, but I am not happy. So I want a better PO attainment. When I am taking the subject example of green IT. Now at this point, you have to decide the target, because OBAR, when I started, I said it starts with the target. वो fish है penguin, we have to move from fish to penguin, correct? So what is the target? So my target for this semester, let us say, is to publish a very good research paper in some Scopus journal or UGC Care journal. I want to produce one research paper is my target for the semester from the given subject. So I have decided the target. So I request all of you also simultaneously decide one target for your subject, either this semester or next semester, because now it is almost the end of the semester. You can decide for the next semester as well. After that, what we have to do, we have to go to the syllabus and select the modules. There are 6 modules. I have selected, for example, I have selected module number 2, green software. Now, what is the theoretical content of this subject? The theoretical content of this subject is that software consumes indirectly electricity, and because of that, the pollution is produced. And there are there are different devices, like there are different developers who use different kind of power, and because of that, the pollution is generated. So sometimes people were telling that digitization is green, but it is not green because it is also consuming power. So somewhere that carbon footprint is there. That is what this particular chapter was telling. And we are teaching to IT student how to develop the software which consumes the minimum power. Now, when I have to teach this particular module, or even you can decide some topic for yourself when we want to teach that, and our target is what? I want to publish a paper. Now, to publish a paper, what I want introduction, very good introduction. I want literature survey, minimum of 35 to 40 papers, might be more than that. I want results, okay, and I want analysis of the result. When I have these 4 parameters in my hand, I can publish a very good paper. Now, to do that, if as a faculty or a group of faculty we sit and we do all this exercise, what happened? We consume lots of time, because to read 35-40 papers, to collect the data of so much of paper, we might not have that much time in our academic schedules, in our daily routine. So what we are doing, we are targeting this particular exercise along with the students. So here 2 things you have to fix, that which module of the syllabus you want to address and what you want. You want book chapter, you want paper, you want patent, you want consultancy, you want to write a grant application. So one of the objective you have to select and one module. So I have selected green software and I am going ahead with the paper. Okay. So now, after selecting this, what I have done, I have started thinking that what kind of enrichment activity I should design so that I get total material for my paper. Because I am very clear that I want 35-40 papers as a literature survey. I want good introduction. I want results basically. Okay. So what I can do, I have started the process. So initially you just have to read 2-3 papers, base paper, and rest of the things student community will do for you. So when I started, I got one paper where it is telling that energy usage and data and this particular programming language is what we are teaching, how much power they are consuming. I got one paper, research paper. And then I started asking questions into the class in a group manner. Okay, so this is a research paper which I have received. Now NEP 2020 is also promoting all the group activity. So what I have done in the research paper, they have said that there are so many different groups in which so many languages are there. Now if you see this particular table very clearly, as a normal, I would say a coding professionals, we use C, C++, Fortran at the most. Go sometimes if we are using CGVR, C++, C Sharp, okay, Java, JavaScript, PHP, Python. Sometimes some students are using Ruby and Perl, but not as a regular language. But rest all languages, if you see, we have never used or we have never come across these languages. So what we are doing now, we are giving these languages as a group activity to the students, because if I sit and do everything, then I will take lots of time. So what we are doing, we are dividing this class, the whole class of 60 into the group, and we are designing the activity that all of you study these languages, about the language. What is this language, where we can use something about the language for 2 minutes. One language, 2 minutes. Inside the class, you can give the activity, they will Google it out, and after 5 or 10 minutes, everybody will start telling about this language. So at a time in a class, lots of knowledge, peripheral knowledge will be generated. Everybody will start hearing that, okay, this language, what is the use? This language, what is the use? Where we are able to use it? Which industry is using this language? So lots of peripheral knowledge is created within 10 minutes of your activity. After that, what this is also a table from the paper. What this table is telling, that there are different languages as per group, and here the energy consumption is given. You can showcase only this much thing to your students. Now what activity you can design? Now here energy consumption is given. C, only 1 unit of energy. And if you compare Python, it is 76 units of the energy. So Python programming is consuming lots of electricity. Now what you can do, you can divide all the languages into different groups. Students will start collecting the particular information. And I have designed this rubric. And according to this rubric, we can evaluate them and we can give some mark. You can convert this as an assignment also, and you can give them a mark. What is the outcome of this activity? When the activity is given to the student, lots of knowledge is generated about the languages. What we have done, we have asked students that if you want to develop a small project on a particular language, how much power will be consumed? So they actually done the calculation for their own program in a different language except C, Python and Java. And they calculated because that table was shown to them. This table was shown to them. So they started calculating the power consumption. And at the end, what happened as a faculty? I got lots of data. So then when I started writing the paper, I have lots of data that this kind of coding, this kind of language, how much is power consumption. If you want to reduce power consumption, instead of X language, we should use the Y language. All this inference we can start developing in our paper. So that is our faculty's intellect work. But the data collection has happened inside the class during our teaching learning without we investing additional time as a faculty. And if you see COPO attainment, what we have done, we have asked students to work in a team. We have improved their communication skills. They started learning something which they will remember during their life, lifelong learning, ethics, and then they are managing the electricity, the bill consumption. So the project management, financial management also we have taught them. So instead of only theoretical attributes, now we have started developing the attitude attributes also inside the students. So this is a poster from the example, like students have done multi-threading inside the CPU, how much actual power consumption is happening. They are doing all this small project at their home, but next day they will come and they will give you the results. So you as a faculty are collecting all these small results, which will help you to produce paper or a poster. And this is the poster developed by the students, and they got some prize because they have worked on the kernel level. Okay. If you think yourself, it is very difficult for us individually to do this activity. Now, as a faculty, how we are assured that the students' capability has increased? So we check, like I personally have checked, 2018 I started teaching this subject. At that time, we were affiliated to University of Mumbai, and the question paper has come from university, where only questions were remember and understanding. After that, in 2019, when we got autonomy, we introduced some additional modules, industry relevant modules, and we could ask question up to analyze level. But in 2020, when I introduced OBAR model, you can see that students started giving answer on the higher RBT level of apply and evaluate as well, because they are engrossed in so many activities during lectures and after lecture, like because you have to complete syllabus also, no? So some activity they are doing at home, but they are so much involved in those activities and they are learning that difficult level questions you can set and they are able to give answers. This is the COPO attainment. You can see that after implementation of OBAR, another POs also started attainment, which was very difficult in the traditional teaching learning process. So PO attainment has improved. Now, after taking example or the experiment on the pilot basis on one subject, we got a success. We have started implementing in the same department another subject. So this is the next subject of data structure for the second year students. And you can see that initially before implementation of the model, students were not confident about the subject. They were hesitant. And this particular subject is the base subject for their placement. Whenever placement company will come, they will ask lots of questions on the data structure. So we implemented the model, and then slowly, what we have observed that by introducing various activities under the linked list, students started achieving better, their understanding have improved. And you can see from the graph that now initially students were here, like only on rating 1 and rating 2 they were less confident, but now after OBAR you can see that majority of the students have shifted to confident and maximum confident, like very good and excellent type of the confidence level they have achieved after implementing OBAR activities. So you can see that how data structure pre process and the post. So under post, we are able to ask questions on the difficult level. They have learned the situations on the evaluate level as well. Then we started implementing with the third subject, which is called information security in the computer department. Now we went after IT department to computer department. So computer department, they have implemented in their assignments. Initially, like teacher was habituated of giving assignments, written assignment, 5 questions, and all the students were copying the assignment answers and submitting. Now what she has done under OBR activity, that she, instead of giving single problem statement or the set of questions, she started finding application of the algorithms into the society, and where this algorithm can be used to improve the life of the nearby community. So she started giving the problem statement to students. Students started going into the field, and then they actually understood the problem, and then students started giving solutions using those algorithms. Because of that, lots of societal reach has increased, college branding has improved. They have come up with very good solutions which they produce as a caselets and the paper. You can see that PO attainment for that intelligence system also have improved. You can see that now letter POs, PO 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, all are getting attained. Okay. Then we started with the final year, like it was for the second year and third year. Then we implement this for final year. So final year, when we started machine learning subject, we had the target. Now we were like producing lots of good research paper because our faculties were trained in collecting the data and the results by doing all these activities. So our target was to produce a book. Okay, the set of faculty members, our target was that we can produce some good book on the machine learning subject. So we introduce this lots of activities under OBAR model for the modules, and then our books got published. Like to produce a book, you need lots of material. If we on that topic, you need various material, and then it should be plagiarism free. So as a part of assignment, we have given those activity, we collected lots of material, and assignments also should be plagiarism free. So students have done those activity and tried to reduce the plagiarism. And after that, the finishing touch was there, we gave, and we produced that particular book. So you can see that 2019-20, so many questions we could ask on remember, understand, analysis. And 2021 after OBAR, the question qualities have improved. So when NBA, NEC, they come to our campus, they always say, show the last 3 years question paper and the improvement in the question quality. So this is a base we can show them that our questions are now of the better quality because we are doing a better teaching learning inside the classroom. So these are the attainment level of different POs. From 2018 to 2021, you can see that Slowly from 2.5854, it has gone up to 2.8. Your PO attainment level has also improved. And additional POs like PO4, PO5, higher knowledge, RBT, they all started achieving after implementation of Green IT subject. So machine learning, we published one book. We could publish 2 Scopus index papers, 1 patent. We filed and we got a grant on that patent. And there are FDPs taken on the reinforcement learning because we got lots of material in a collective learning. So our teachers were able to take reinforcement learning lectures for the colleges, Indian Air Force, and then by taking those lectures and consultancy, the revenue generation also has happened in the institute. The next subject, for example, I am telling software engineering project management. We have published the book. It's available on the Amazon, Flipkart. PhD research scholars are guided on this particular topic. Okay. And then lectures are taken in Indian Navy, INS Hamla Malad for software engineering and project management. Okay. If you are a faculty not from the technical background, but from the you are teaching a subject of management, then also you can implement this. We have tested this with our MBA college. Consumer behavior is a subject. And then these are the 5 topic like problem recognition, information search, evaluation of alternative, purchase decisions, and post-purchase behavior. These are the processes taught inside the chapter. How the target decided by the faculty is to publish 1 paper and to help the small stores in the nearby area as a consultancy project. So they have started sending students out with the good questions in the survey. Students actually went out as a part of their assignment. They got back with the survey answers, and based on that, lots of caselets, case studies, papers were developed. And those small vendors and the shops in the nearby area of the college were given the consultancy for enhancing their productivity, improving their processes. So in that way, revenue generation also have happened. We got acknowledgement from the national level also for this model. INPOD has given us that this model is universal model, can be applied to any subject, and definitely by applying this model, enhancement is observed. So what are the basic outcome of outcome-based education model? That lots of peripheral knowledge is created, student skill is enhanced, and attitude of learning is developed, because nowadays with this Gen Z, their focus is very limited. Like 10 minutes after that, they feel that lecture is of no use. But we are 60-minute lectures. So at that time, you can develop the attitude of learning involving students inside the class. Your every teacher can publish a research paper. So you will have a lot many research papers for your NBA, NEC, NIRF, so that rating, ranking will improve. Even your personal portfolio, I would say, or the CV is also improved. If some innovative idea will come during these discussions and applications, you can apply for grant also. And definitely, as I have shown you, small consultancies will start coming to the campus. So OBR is a model which is bridging a gap. Like initially we started with a gap, that there are gap between the research expectations. So this is the way how we can bridge the gap without suffocating the faculty. Faculty members are not putting additional efforts. They are doing teaching learning only, but now they are just doing delta change in their content delivery, and student community becomes so active, so engaged, that we are getting very good results. So this is a OBAR model with all the results. I have done the stop share. If you have any questions, you can ask now.
If you have any questions, please post it in the chat. I will take it.
For your subject, just think that what activity you can decide and what is your target, what you want. And then next semester, definitely you will get one of the research outcome achieved using OBAR model. Any one of you have any questions, you can ask. So so OBR model, no sir, finish you, because students are putting efforts, no. If you don't decide target first, then all the efforts might not give you the correct results. So by DBMS, what you want? Do you want to design some? I would say you want to write a Scopus index paper, or you want to write a book chapter, or you want to design some new algorithm of table generation or optimum search algorithm, but for which you can file a patent, that you have to decide first. Okay, once you decide that, then according to that your activity can start. uh, how we map PO12. PO12 for me, it was project management and finance management. So whenever we decide some activity where that consultancy is involved, like I am going out for the small shops, understand their problem, give the solution, that finance is involved. And I have to do a project also, no, small project. So project management. So at that time, PO12 is addressed. Anyone else has any questions, or we should conclude? Qualitative research, like sir, what, that is what I said. What do you want after doing qualitative research? You want to prove your hypothesis from uh, deductive way or inductive way, that you have to first identify. Okay. Once you identify that, whether from hypothesis to result you are going, or from result to hypothesis. So once you decide that process, after that you can design the questions and design your survey, float the survey. Okay. And all the students will start collecting either physically or through their own Instagram network and Facebook network. You will get lots of results. And when that lots of results come, result will come because it's a qualitative survey. It will come in the form of yes, no, excellent, very good, that kind of answers. Then you have to convert those answers into the scale of 1 to 5, numerical. And then you can apply machine learning algorithm. You can do predictive analysis, that if this is the response of the society, whether this product will go into the society, it will have profit, it will not have profit. That kind of qualitative research you can do. Power consumption, sir, we have to go up to the kernel level. I have shown you that multi-threading, no? So inside the setting, there are like whenever you run the program, at that time, it is showing that how much power is consumed by your system. So on the kernel level, it is there. But as a part of teaching learning, my job is not to teach how to do that. Okay, my job is to tell them that this language is consuming suppose 1 unit of power, and Java is consuming 35 unit, Python is consuming 75 unit. Now students' job is to implement the code, same code into 3 language, and observe Okay, in that their learning will improve. Like they will actually sit, they will spend more time into the lab, they will understand how to go up to the kernel level, they will Google it out, they will join the community, so that peripheral knowledge will improve. That is how we can see that consumption of the power. So what is my point in doing research? Whether you have to decide, no ma'am, but first, what do you want by doing qualitative research? Okay, that what should be answered first. What you want paper, you want patent, you want book chapter, what you want. Once you decide that, and what is the requirement of that? As I said, when I wanted to write a paper, I know that I need a very huge literature survey and the results. So I divided my assignment in such a manner that I got lots of input for the literature survey as a part of one assignment, and as a part of second assignment, I got lots of results. So you have to decide that what you want. But for book chapters, so much of literature survey is not required. Correct, no? So you have to decide that what you want. According to that, we can proceed. I hope that has given the answer for your question. Anything else is there, or we can conclude? So thank you very
I think,
much.
yes,
Yes, sir. So thank you very much, sir, for giving the opportunity, and all the participants for patient listening and appreciating the session. And if you have any suggestions, or if you are planning any time and you are facing any problem, uh, COPO mapping, no, actually the next session Jacob sir will take how to do COPO mapping. So if you have any trouble, you can reach to me through the organizers and all. We will help you out to implement OBAR model. So thank you once again and have a nice day. Bye.
thank you very much, Dr. Kamal Shah, for that wonderful session. Now we will move on to the next session, that is the technical session on mapping of outcomes. This is going to be delivered by Dr. Mendes Jacob, who is the Professor and Director at MCA Marine College, Kuttakanam, Autonomous, and he is also the MD and CEO of IPSR Solutions Limited. Dr. Mendes Jacob is an academician and an entrepreneur with 35 plus years of experience and is the former director of School of Applicable Mathematics, MIT University. He is a PhD in operations research and has to his credit a number of national and international publications and guided PhD students in mathematics and computer science. He is also the CEO of IPSR Solutions Limited, an IT company supporting higher education institutions in the implementation of outcome-based education and innovative teaching, learning, and assessment strategies. He is part of the team which has trained more than 30,000 faculty members on outcome-based education pan India. Over to you, sir.
Sijan, am I audible?
Yes, sure, sir.
My video is not unmuted. Okay.
Yeah, video is not visible.
Some problem with the technical problem. I will just.
Yeah,
So
now
thank you. Yeah, thank you, Sijan, for the introduction. Once again, welcome to this section. Good evening to all the participants. So we have already gone through various sections, starting from the learning domains, then introduction to OB, design of outcomes. Then we had some good case studies, one from the Canadian University, and today also we had a case study regarding OBAR. In between, we had a section on generative AI, and today we will have a section on mapping of outcomes, how we can map outcomes. This is for the calculation of attainment. Tomorrow we'll have a full day section, 2-hour section on attainment of outcomes and how to calculate attainment. Then there are some tips, some we will discuss about some analytical reports, some tools. Again, how OBE is useful for accreditation purpose. And day after tomorrow, the last day, we have another section on research, how the AI can be useful for research purpose, again by Dr. Suresh Nambudiri. So I think you may have some doubts. I will share a Padlet so that you can post your doubts on the Padlet. Tomorrow we will clear all the doubts, tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So regarding maybe some doubts regarding the Bloom's taxonomy or a design of outcomes, or today we have the section on mapping of outcomes. So you can post your doubts on the Padlet. We will discuss your queries. And again, we have collected some queries in the first day itself that also we will discuss. Mostly there are no queries like the practices going on in different institutions are posted there in the Google Sheet. Okay. Anyway, we will discuss all these things probably today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow. Okay. So today we will, the Padlet is shared in the chat box and also in the YouTube live. Probably it will be there in the LMS also, so that you can post your doubts there. If you want any clarifications or any suggestions also, you can post there. Okay. So thank you for your cooperation. I will share my screen. My screen is visible, no?
Yes.
Okay. So already we have discussed about the design of outcomes, how we can design outcomes, PO, PSO, PEO, then CO also. I will just start with the design of a course outcome because this is very much needed in this session, because we are mapping actually the assessment activities and other teaching learning activities with the COs, and again COs with the POs. Okay, just we will refresh how we can design an outcome. This is an example. This is a template for designing outcomes. See, it will start with an action verb, again from Bloom's taxonomy, then the content or topic to be learned, and the context. So this is an outcome designed by me. This is my subject, graph theory, which I am teaching to MCA students. So this is an outcome. You can see, starting with apply, that is an action verb, graph representations and algorithms in computer science, that is the context. Okay. Can somebody say what is the level of this outcome? What level is this outcome? Can put in the chat box. Any suggestions? I'm not getting the chat. Okay. L4, K4, okay. This is application level, but application means level 3 only. It's not level 4. Application means it's a level 3, L3. Okay. Okay, so this is a level 3 outcome. That means it's apply level. Okay, fine. Now, these are some examples. I will skip that also. It's already are covered by Dr. Sunil Chok. Some sample outcomes, everything. Now, coming to the mapping. Actually, there are 2 levels of mapping. Level 1 is CO-PO mapping. We can map COs with POs and COs with PSOs, okay, if there are PSOs in your OB curriculum. Again, we have the level 2 mapping. Level 2 mapping means topic learning outcomes, or we can map all the activities, teaching learning activities to different course outcomes. If we have a course, we are delivering a course, probably we may have course outcomes, like we may have 5 or 6 course outcomes. So we can map the teaching learning activities with the COs, also the assessment activities with the COs. Okay, we will discuss one by one. Now, the assessment in OB for calculating the attainment. This is a process. The final assessment is done by the estimation of program outcome and program specific outcomes, which will serve as a profile of the students' competencies. These are all based on the competencies, or we call graduate attributes. Program outcomes are nothing but the graduate attributes. Then there are program specific outcomes in some cases. That means it's specific to some particular program. So this will serve as a profile of the students' competencies. Okay. So you have already gone through the POs. So I think I don't want to explain it again. POs and PSO are estimated from the component of COs related to the respective PO and PSO. So we'll be mapping the COs with POs and PSOs so that we can calculate PO and PSO from that mapping. Again, COs are estimated from the component learning outcome of the activity related to that course. The first step in this process is to determine the mapping of the related components and determining the strength of mapping between lower order and higher order outcomes. Lower order outcome means the COs, whereas higher order outcome means the POs and PSOs. Okay. Now, we will be using a standardized mapping scale. This is an example of a mapping scale which is used by many institutions. This is 4-point scale. See, for example, if there is no relationship between an activity and a CO, or between an assessment and a CO, the relationship is nil, so that the weightage will be 0. So for the purpose of mapping, we will put 0 as the weightage there. And if it is low relationship, if there is low relationship between an activity and CO, then the weightage is 1. If it is moderate relationship, the weightage is 2. And if it is significant relationship, the weightage is 3. And you can see the last column, the third column, that is the percentage of attainment. For example, if a student is getting 0% score for a particular activity, then the percentage of attainment is 0 or nil. So we'll get, we can put 0 there as a weightage. And if it is between 1 to 50%, this is an interval for this demo purpose. This interval can be customized according to the policy of the institution. So don't worry about these intervals. These are only indicative. So I'm using this 1 to 50% low relationship, or the weightage is 1. So if the student is scoring, say for example, less than 50% score for a particular activity, is a low, we can say it's a low attainment. The weightage is 1. And from 51 to 70%, moderate attainment, and weightage is 2. And from 71 to 100%, significant attainment, and we can see the weightage is 3. Okay, so just remember this one, because in the coming slides we will be using this standardized mapping scale. Okay. Now I will give you an example, then we will discuss how we can map it. See, for example, for every course outcome, we have an action verb, and that shows the level of that outcome. Then there is a learning domain. Similarly, for an activity or a question, activity means it can be an assessment, it can be it can be an assignment, or it can be a seminar or some other activity. And the questions, for conducting internal exams or a continuous assessment, we may have internal exams, and also we have the semester end exams where we have questions in the question paper. And for a question, again, we will frame a question depending on the level of the taxonomy. See, for example, a question also will start with an action verb. It can come from the Bloom's taxonomy levels, and there will be a learning statement. Okay, so we can compare a question with a course outcome, or in other words, we can say that a course outcome is a glorified form of a question. Okay, now we had a section on Bloom's taxonomy in the first day itself. Suppose I'm designing a course outcome for this section on Bloom's taxonomy, or we can say a course on Bloom's taxonomy. This is the course outcome. On completion of this course, that means that Bloom's taxonomy course, the participants will be able to apply the Bloom's taxonomy in framing questions. On completion of this Bloom's taxonomy course, the participants will be able to apply the Bloom's taxonomy in framing questions. So this is my course outcome. Okay, for the particular course on Bloom's taxonomy, the course outcome is the participants will be able to apply the Bloom's taxonomy in framing questions. Now, what is the level of this CO? Can somebody suggest what is the level of this CO? We have different levels for questions. If we frame questions, there are also we have different levels. The same way for CO also we have level. Can anybody suggest what level it is? I cannot see the chat. Once again, I will check. Level 3, yeah, it's fine. So it's an apply level. It's an apply level CO. It's an apply level CO. It's correct. Okay, so this is an apply level CO. Now, as a faculty, my goal is to attain this outcome, this course outcome by every participant. And for that purpose, I'll be conducting some teaching learning activities. And to check whether all the participants have attained this outcome, I'll be conducting assessments. So there are two parts, like the teaching learning activities, then the assessment. And the teaching learning activities will be focused on this CO, to attain this CO by the participants or by the students. Again, I'm going to check whether every participant or every student have attained this outcome, this course outcome. Okay, and for that purpose, now I'm going to assess the participants. For that purpose, suppose I'm conducting an exam, and for this exam, this is my first question. Explain the different levels of learning in cognitive level. Explain the different levels of learning in cognitive level. This is my one of my questions in the question paper. Okay, so what level is this question? What is the level of this question? Can somebody suggest? According to Bloom's taxonomy, what is the level of this question? Okay, L2, understanding. Yeah, somebody has suggested K1, that means under Romber level. What is the level actually? See, what is the cognitive challenge of that question? Is it the understanding level or is it in the Romber level? Analyze. Okay. Okay. Understanding. Somebody has suggested Romber also. Okay. Now you can see the question is explain the different levels of learning in cognitive level. So it can be only a Romber level question, level 1 question, because from the memory, just memorize the concept and the student can write the answer for this one, because there is no contribution from the student side and there is no cognitive challenge if you consider it as a understanding level question. Otherwise, if you say like explain the different levels of learning in cognitive level with some examples, in that case, the student has to explain it with some examples. That is a different thing. So this is only a K1 or a L1, what you said, or remember level question. Now we have this remember level question. Suppose the student is getting 100% mark for this particular question. Can I assume that my CO is attained? My CO is apply level. My question in this question paper, the first question is remember level. So even if the student is getting 100% mark for this question, the number 1 question, can I assume that 100% attainment for the student, considering this outcome? Anybody? No. Yes. Okay. Now, what should be the level of mapping? So I'm going to map this level 1 question to level 3 outcome. Level 1 question to level 3 outcome. So what should be the mapping strength? Can somebody suggest? We have a 4-point scale. 0 means there is no relationship. 1 means low relationship. 2 means moderate. And 3 means significant relationship. So this question, if mapped with the CO, what should be the weightage I have to give? Any suggestions? Sorry, I'm not able to see the chat. Just one minute. Some technical issue.
So you
Yeah.
can do one thing. You
Yeah.
can just log off and log back in and check, because yesterday also Dr. Suresh Nambiri had the same issue.
Same
Maybe
issue.
that
Okay.
might, yeah.
Just 1 minute.
Just log off and log.
Okay.
So are you speaking now?
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay.
Is that visible now?
Yeah, now it is visible. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the screen is visible now. Screen is come.
Okay, so this is a low level, okay, mapping strength. Okay, so the first question you can see, this is level 1 question, or K1, which we can map with the level 3 CO. It's apply level CO. So the mapping strength can be 1. Then I have another question. Again, using Bloom's taxonomy, prepare and analyze level question in your subject. So suppose this is my second question in the question paper. What is the level of this question? Level of this question using Bloom's taxonomy, prepare and analyze level question in your subject. Yeah, it is 3. No, it is 3. Okay, suppose the student is getting 100% mark for this particular question. The question level attainment is 100%. So I can assume that the student can apply Bloom's taxonomy in preparing questions. So I can say 100% attainment. So what is the level of mapping? Level 3. The mapping strength also is 3 because the level of CO is 3. Level of question is also 3. So we can give 3. That's fine. Then it is not moderate. It is significant because of both the levels are same. The CO level and the question level is same. Then one more question, another example. Suppose this is a question again in the question paper. Analyze the given set of 25 questions of recourse based on Bloom's taxonomy. This is one of the tasks I think given in the first day. You are given an Excel template where you can analyze your question paper, the previous question paper. So what is the level of this third question? What level it is? L4, L5. What is the correct level? So this is it's not evaluation. This is actually okay. 4, 5, 6. See, it's level 4 because you are asked to analyze a given set of questions based on Bloom's taxonomy. So to analyze the questions, which level it is, it can be one among the 6 levels. It can be Romer level, understand level, apply level, or analyze level, evaluate level, or create level. Okay. So this is an analyze level question. Now my CO is apply level. This is an analyze level question. How can I map this analyze level question to the CO? Or in other words, if the student is getting 100% mark, again for the question number 3, can I assume that the 100% attainment for the CO for the student? Yeah. So we can assume that 100% attainment because he is able to analyze the things. That means analyze comes after apply, the hierarchical level. Now, what should be the mapping strength? This question mapped with the CO. At what level? What should be the weightage? high, no? Yeah, it is 3. Okay. Okay, that is correct. But will you allow a higher outcome with a lower CU? Okay. Now, I expect questions like this. Will you allow a higher outcome with a lower CU? So that is one of the questions like, or in other words, what is the relevance of asking a higher order question for a low order CU? I hope that is the question. You have set a CU on the apply level, and now you are asking a question on a higher level compared to that level of the CU. What is the relevance in asking such a question? Definitely, that is where you have to check the CU, and maybe next time you have to redesign the CU. I hope you may be designing CUs horizontally or vertically. Horizontally means for every module or every unit in the syllabus, you may have a CU. That is a horizontal way of designing a CU. Suppose your syllabus consists of 5 modules or 5 units. For every unit, you can have a CU. Otherwise, for the entire syllabus, you can design, say, 4 or 5 CUs. That is a vertical model. Okay. So whatever the model is, when you design a CU, it should be like what the student can be able to do after completing that module or that unit or that course. That should be your CU. Okay. If the student is able to analyze, or you are teaching the student to analyze certain things, then the CU should be of the analyze level. Okay. If you are putting a CU on the apply level, and again, you are teaching the student to analyze something, that is not proper. So you have to set a benchmark on the higher side. Okay. So here the problem is actually you have designed the CU on the apply level in this case. But you are, when delivering the course, you are teaching the student, or you are delivering the course in such a way that all the participants can be able to analyze a particular concept. Okay. I hope it is clear now. Again, somebody may ask why you are asking a low order question. I am expecting a question like that also. Do you have any doubt regarding that? So our first question is of level 1. Why you are asking a lower order question if your CO is high? Okay. That also we should discuss, because when we are setting a CO, designing a CO on the higher side, we cannot expect that every student will attain that outcome, that higher order CO. Okay. So just like when we conduct exams, we will be fixing the maximum mark, probably 100% or out of 100 or out of 75 or out of 50. That is the maximum mark. But we are not expecting that every student is getting the maximum mark, the full mark. So we set a pass mark or a distinction or a first class or something like that. So in the same case, when we design CUs, we can set a target for each CU. It can be 50% or 60% for the initial years, and gradually you can increase that target. That means we are expecting that the entire batch of students, they may attain average 50% or 60% of the attainment of that CU. Okay, so that we will discuss tomorrow when we are calculating the attainment. So that you can also ask lower order questions. That won't be a problem. So when asking higher order questions, definitely it is meaningless because your CO is on a low order. I hope it is clear. Do you have any further questions? Otherwise, we'll go to the next slide. Any further clarifications required? It's clear. Okay. Okay, thank you. We'll also have one more example. Suppose we have another CO. Another CO, on completion of this course, the participant should be able to say, able to analyze the questions based on group taxonomy level. That means the level of the CO in this case is analyze. Level of the CO is analyze. Level 4. Okay. Level of the CO is analyze. And again, to assess whether the participants have attained that outcome, I'm conducting a test. And suppose this is my first question in the question paper. What are the different levels of learning in cognitive level? Everybody knows this is a level 1 question, K1. So level 1 question again mapping with the level 4 CO. What should be the weightage? Can you suggest? Level 1 question mapped with the level 4 CO. What should be the mapping strength? Yeah. It is low, it is not high. Because the question is level 1. The CO is level 4. It's a low relationship. Yeah. So the weightage is 1. It's fine. Then again, using Bloom's taxonomy, prepare an analyze level question in your subject. That is again an apply level CO. Mapping with an analyze level CO. Level 3 question mapped with a level 4 CO. Can you suggest what is the mapping strength? It cannot be high because the question is one level less than the CO. The CO is analyzed level 4, whereas the question is level 3 only. So the question is one level less than the level of the CO. So we can give 2, moderate. Okay, it's not 3 because it is not of the same level. I hope it is clear. Then some questions was there like minimal level for CO. Minimal level for CO means I hope you're asking what should be the level of the course outcomes. The level of the course outcomes depends on the content delivered in that module or during that course. See, for example, your syllabus is divided into say units or modules. So what you are delivering in that particular module, say for example, if the student is able to apply some concept, then the level of the CO should be applied. Or if the student is able to analyze, then the level of the CO should be analyzed. Okay. Uh, 6 units means, okay, your syllabus may be consumed 6 units. Okay. So there are 2 ways of designing the COs. One is the horizontal way. See, for example, each unit you can have 1 CO. That is one way of designing CO. Say, for example, first unit, maybe fundamentals. You are teaching the student maybe the concept, the basic concepts, so that it can be in the understanding level. Or maybe in the first module itself, the student be able to apply the concept. Then the CO can be applied level. For example, in one of the colleges in Tamil Nadu, where they are teaching, there is a course on food technology. Okay, the first module earlier they have designed the CO on the remember level or understand level, but after the discussion, they told me that the first module itself, the first unit itself, they are teaching the students to prepare food. That means they can apply. The students are able to apply what they have studied. So that means they can design the CO on the apply level. I hope it is clear, no? Okay. Now, once if you map the questions with the COs, you'll get a table like this. This is an example of a table. You can see the questions are listed there. Suppose you may have an exam, and suppose there are 15 questions. First question mapped with the CO1 with a weightage 2. Second question mapped with the CO2 with weightage 1. Likewise, this is only an example for the demo purpose. So you'll get a table like this once if you map all the questions with the COs. Okay. Then coming to the CO-PO mapping. So we have discussed the level 2 mapping. Now level 1 mapping. How the COs can be mapped with the POs. I hope while explaining the POs, Dr. Sunil Job was mentioned about the competencies related to POs. Suppose you have a graduate attribute like communication skills. You can identify the competencies related to communication skills. Okay, for example, in communication skills, the student should be able to read, write, listen, comprehend. Okay, all these are competencies related to the graduate attribute called communication skills. So communication skills can be a PO. Now, you have to identify the competencies related to a PO. Then if you want to map a CO with PO. Okay, for a CO, we have the action verb and the learning statement. Now, check how many of these competencies are addressed by that CO. See, for example, if a PO has 5 competencies, and out of 5 competencies, how many of the competencies are addressed by that course outcome? Okay, if it is more than 40%, that means if there are 5 competencies, more than 2 is addressed by a particular CO, you can give weightage 3. That means significant. Between 25% and 40%, weightage 2. Between 5% and 25%, weightage 1. Likewise. Okay, so this is actually the process. And as you know, POs are more generic. That is why we are taking, even if it is a 40% competencies are addressed, we can give full mapping. Okay, that is the reason. Again, this is the process, but by experience, every faculty can map this. So it will take maybe half an hour in a semester. It's only a one-time activity to map all your COs with POs. Suppose you are teaching 2 or 3 courses. For one course, if you have 5 course outcomes, in 3 courses, you may have 15 course outcomes. And all these 15 course outcomes, you can map with the different POs and PSOs. It's a one-time activity, as I mentioned. Maximum, it will take 30 minutes to 1 hour. And it's a every semester you can do. Okay. I hope this is clear, the CO-PO mapping. With experience, definitely just comparing the POs and COs, you can map it. Otherwise, you will be aware of the activities, teaching learning activities related to a particular course. So that also you can consider while mapping this process. Again, suppose your course have a project, then there will be a project presentation. So that means the communication skills of the students may be improved. When the students are doing that project and giving that presentation. So in that case, that CO you can map with the PO. Okay. Any clarifications or any doubts? I hope it is clear. Okay. Now we have the table like this for the CO-PO mapping. This is a tabular form. COs you can map with the different POs. See, for example, CO, there are 5 COs for a particular course. I have listed the POs there, the top. There are 9 POs. It's only an example. These are actually the POs of our college, Marine College, Kutikana. Then each CO, you have to consider whether we can map with a particular PO. Here you can see CO1 is mapped with the PO1 with a weightage 2. That means there is more relationship between that CO1 and PO1. The same way, each CO, if there is strong relationship, we can give 3. Otherwise, we can give 2, moderate, and if it is low, 1. And there is no relationship, then 0. As an example, I already mentioned, if there is a course which contains, projects
or some presentations based on projects. If you have a PO related to communication skills, you can map that CO with the PO. Maybe you can give mapping strength 2, or in some cases, if it is more relevant, you can give 3. Okay. The same way we can map COs with PSOs. While mapping COs with PSOs, more connected with that program. If suppose, yeah, I think this is these are PSOs for a BCA program. Okay. You can see all are related to the courses which are taught in the BCA program. So you may have more relation between the COs and PSOs in this case. There is more relationship between COs and PSOs. Okay. So this is the way we can map COs and PSOs. So I hope it's clear now. So we have 2 levels of mapping we have discussed. One is level 2 mapping. We have discussed how we can map activities and the assessments with COs. That is the level 2 mapping, and this is level 1 mapping, CO-PO mapping and CO-PSO mapping. This is level 1 mapping. If you have any questions, we will discuss. Otherwise, we can wind up for the time being. And tomorrow we will discuss how we can calculate the attainment. So mapping is the first process. Then only we can calculate attainment. Any questions?
If you have any questions for Mendesa, please put it in the chat. So we'll take it.
There was a question in the far left. If it is level 1 question, why you used to explain instead of it? See, we may be using action verbs from Bloom's taxonomy. It is correct, but depending on the context, the level of the question can change. I hope Dr. Sunil sir has discussed some examples where you can see, for example, if you consider GST, because everybody knows what is GST. If you ask a question like explain GST with an example, and if you are providing notes in the class so that the student can memorize it and he can write the answer. So that's only a number level question, even if the action verb is explained. But the cognitive challenge you can check. It's only a number level question. Otherwise, if you can ask like a question like explain in your own words, okay, then it can be understanding level question. Can we use one more question? We are told to follow Bloom's taxonomy, and questions were asked with the keywords. Explain the level 1 instead of using list enumerate. Is it justified? See, for example, again I will tell you, it's not only based on the action verbs. You have to check the cognitive challenge of that question, and see what are the teaching learning activities you have followed in the classroom. That is also important, because we are providing notes for every content, and even if you ask a question, differentiate between 2 things. See, for example, differentiate between what and GST. You can ask the student for a comparison between what and GST. And again, if you ask the same question, you are giving notes, and if you ask the question for exam, the student will memorize it and they will answer the question. So even if the action verb is analyzed, it comes from the analyze level, but the question is only of the romper level. Okay, so everything depends on the cognitive challenge of that question. I hope you have seen a report presented by Dr. Suresh Nambudiri regarding a study they have conducted in Indian education system, where you can see only 0.8% of the students, Indian students, they are in the higher order category, like analyze, evaluate, and create together. We have only less than 1% students. Okay, that is the reason. Can we use performance indicators for PO mapping? Yeah, definitely. You can use performance indicators. Because for many courses like medical courses, they have the competencies listed. They have no syllabus. They have the competencies listed there. Okay, please post your doubts in the Padlet also. Tomorrow we will discuss if you have any questions. And again, for the attainment calculation, if you have any doubts, we will clear that tomorrow. Okay, then we will wind up for today. Thank you for your patience. We have around 2 hours section today. Over to Sijin.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that wonderful session. Please note, everybody, tomorrow we will do the calculation of attainment and certificate reports. Then we will have ICT tools for OBE, OBE for accreditation, AI-assisted assessment. This will be again taken by Dr. Mendes Jacob. Please join in on time at 7 p.m. We will see you then. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your patience in attending this session. We will see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. sharp. Have a pleasant evening. Thank you, everybody.